Hi, where to now? Are you ready for change? How can you find the best solution for you? I'm Pip Oxlade and I'm really happy to be here and presenting for you today. And firstly, I would like to thank you for joining me with this session and, gaining back dignity and divinity, where we're trying to help build awareness to the increase in domestic violence during this lockdown period and the increase in demand for services and charities that focus on this area. And we ask to visit the website and you can donate directly to them in this time of need as you would like. So my talk today is where to. You've made the decision to leave and where can you go? So just a little bit about my background is that I've come from a nursing and midwifery background. I worked for 20 years in the health service in the UK. So I have witnessed and been party to the multidisciplinary teams that have come into the departments that I've worked in, which has been a mixture of casualty to the delivery suite and also the pre and postnatal areas, medicine, surgery and orthopedics. And so, abuse has been part of what I've dealt with since I've been trained as a nurse at the age of 18 and I'm now 56. I'm no longer a nurse and midwife, but those situations and how we dealt with them, they'd still be the same. But what's made it even more difficult is for those of you that have been locked down and in this COVID situation where your partner might be drinking and lashing out, you haven't got anywhere to escape to. Normally you might have your work, taking children to and forth from school, meeting with friends, and now it's this situation, condensed situation. So my heart goes out to you, but what can you do at this time? So only you know what it's been like for you, and your decisions to leave is one that has been a big one, I bet. So what I've done is I've written down some tips to keep me on target and focus so I can get as much information over to you as possible. Okay, so the first quote that I would like to bring up was one that I found on the internet, and it says, "You need a safety plan as abusers are unpredictable and you never know when you're going to have to get away from them. Thinking through a safety plan during moments of peace will help you to think more swiftly and clearly during moments of danger." So this was a quote from Kelly Jo Holly, and I just looked up on the internet and I found this and I thought that was quite appropriate. I am someone who has always had a plan and, done good research, and so therefore it's, manifested much easier than if I hadn't. Okay, so maybe have you thought things through? Have you got a plan of where to now, what's available and what's there at the end of the road to greet you? So there are plenty of people, there's plenty of places and programs outside of this abusive situation, even in this COVID situation of lockdown, that you can reach out to. But maybe it's even more condensed now because the abuser might be in the house unemployed, maybe around more because they haven't got a job to go to, they're not essential workers, and so you're getting such just an impactful situation, a weird situation where you're around each other 24/7. So what can you do if you can't get out and you can't make that phone call and you can't have time by yourself? How can you actually get to those safe places? Okay. So pre-planning is essential and it really helps with that exit to freedom. And so I'm sure there are periods of time in the day when you can have peaceful thoughts. And maybe one of them is now when you're listening to this video. And it might be when you're in the toilet. It might be when you're hanging out the clothes. It might be when you've just made an excuse to go out for a walk, or perhaps they've gone off to the shops and you're able to actually access this. So that's just great. But you need to plan when is the best time to leave. Is it when they've gone to bed? You know, when they're so drunk or overtaken by drugs that they aren't there present and you can just slip out and go. You know, is it the time when they've gone to, gone out themselves and you're left? Is that time the best time to actually make that move? So you will know, all right? But, you know, one of the biggest things is actually making the decision. So if you are at that decision now, high five to you. So how can you orchestrate this? How can you execute it so that it's smooth and it reduces the fear factor? Well, the important thing is to make that phone call. Make the phone call to that chosen place that you feel is going to receive you, and that they know that you are thinking of it, so that they can be prepared like you are, and you can ask them questions, you know, who's going to meet me? Where do I go when I get there? You know, is it completely safe? Can you have visitors? Do they take children? You know, these sorts of things. Now, it could be that you're a man looking on, a boy, a girl, a woman. It might be that you have a family. Who knows? But the fact is that there are different places out there to meet your needs. So what I was thinking is reading you a little bit of a passage from the Dalai Lama. Is that okay? So I've just marked it down here, and here we go. All right. We need a minimum of courage in life in order to make decisions. But since it is not good to decide things impulsively, a certain dose of indecision is also necessary, just enough to evaluate the situation correctly or to take advice from those who are better informed. So indecision is useful to an extent, but once we have weighed the pros and cons, we need the strength to make our decision, whatever problems we will have to face. I have to admit that I do not always follow my own advice, the Dalai Lama says on this point. In meetings with Kashag, the ministerial cabinet of the Tibetan government in exile, I've occasionally taken a decision on a topical issue, and then, after lunch, another thought has occurred to me. Then I tell myself, I should have made a different decision. So in regards, I do not have much advice to offer. So what he's saying is, you know, you are the only one who can make your decision, and it's okay to chop and change and to go backwards and forwards. And, you know, your friends, your family may be there going, yeah, go, 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 go. But actually, are they perfect? You know, are they really knowing of your situation? So you may find that there's people in your life who've stood by you, and you think, well, you know, they've been there for me, they'll always be there. But at some point they might step back and go, we can't take this anymore. You've said you're going to leave and you don't. We've advised you to go and you don't. And, you know, I personally, I've actually faced that with a couple of very close friends of mine, that I was there for years, and their indecisions was so tiring and exhausting and frustrating. And when you got to that point where they were phoning you up saying, he's had me up against the wall by my throat in front of the children, and you're imploring to them, please leave, and they still don't, and the children are still witness to this. You know, I actually gave up because in the end I was like, I can't do any more. So please, you know, be accepting of those that step aside and go, I can't take this anymore, because in the end it is your life, your decision, and only you can make that change, okay? And they've got to make those decisions for themselves, and it doesn't mean that they don't love you, okay? It's just that they can't stand by and watch this anymore. So I looked up on the internet, and I've rung friends who've been in legal and social work to get their advice and suggestions around this topic, okay? Because as I said, I've come from a nursing and midwifery background. I've been witness and I've assisted people through the system, but we are in an even more concentrated situation now with the COVID. And so here's some suggestions. So many people have beat themselves up over the question, why can't I just leave? But are you not ready? But you are ready. So let's move forwards. So you might be concerned about the finances, but maybe you've planned ahead and you've hidden some money, or maybe you've got some money in a bank account or some cash in a pocket, but make sure that you do have some money if you can, all right? Maybe you're in business with the abuser and the business has gone down the chute whilst we're on lockdown, and so the pressures are built up even more and they're lashing out in some way. Maybe there's no money left in the pot to have, okay? The children, if you've got children, how are you going to deal with them taking them away from the other parent, and maybe the other parent has threatened you with, if you ever take my children away, I'm going to find you and I'm going to kill you and them. And I've heard that said to one of my friends. But you know what? The abuser may need you, may need the drama, may need the attention, but do they really mean that? You may have been taken to the brink of death with them, but you're still here and you're still alive and you are still with them. So what can you do to ensure your safety in a practical way? There's always the police. You can always just leave with the clothes on your back, with the most precious things with you, and get out. Go straight to a police station, and then from that point lodge a report and hand yourself over to the multidisciplinary team at the police station, which will get you into a safe refuge place. Now these places are advising and they are assisting at this time. Now please look at the websites to see what they are suggesting, and on the covid.org, you know, the government COVID one, they will be giving you good suggestions as to what to do and where to go at this moment in time. But please, if you can, ring ahead, check out all these things and research, just so that you know exactly where to go, what's going to happen, who's going to meet you, and the next step, because that's going to reduce that fear factor, isn't it? Yeah, and that's what we want to do, is to de-stress you as much as possible. So what happens when you are in that safe place? Now it could be that you've arranged with a girlfriend or a relative that you're going to go there. Now from tomorrow, which is Monday, the end of April, when I'm recording this, we're going into level 3, so we are able to extend our bubbles, which is fantastic. So, you know, the most important thing is that there's no trace to who you've been ringing and where you could possibly going, and you've formed some sort of plan that if the abuser starts ringing around, checking out where you are, that they can't see your car, you know, that there's no paper trail, there's no phone trails, there's no emails that they can check. You haven't got your location on your phone so that they can check that, yeah? And so when you get to that safe house or refuge or friend, then what happens there? You need to keep your friends as safe, your relatives safe as possible too. And so, you know, you've got to come to an agreement that if your phone rings or if there's an email, you're not going to give away your safe space as to where you are. Yeah, that you're not going to invite that person into your life and cause more havoc. Okay, so you want to keep your friends and family and support network that are supporting you. Now, it might be that you want to make excuses. Oh, he's a great lover. Oh, he gives me kind comments. He steps forwards and looks after me. But is he looking after you if he's hitting you? Is he really looking after you if he's abusing you, putting you down, making you feel worthless, creating havoc? No. No, he's not. Okay, this is false love. And so maybe it's something that you've always been used to. Maybe it's something that's come from the patterning of your family. But your little voice inside of you will be saying, this isn't right. Have you heard that little voice saying that to you? And enough is enough, okay? Enough's enough. When you've decided that and you're ready to leave, enough is enough. So you want to make sure that you can move forwards, okay? Now, there's no sex, age, social lineage that defines abuse. Abuse happens in every level, at every age, in every way. Socially, mentally, physically, sexually, in all ways, ritualistically as well. So, you know, if you are one of those people that have made the decision, have you thought about ringing up the Citizens Advice Bureau? Okay, so I've got a list of suggestions here. So here they are, okay? So firstly, look at the government COVID website. Then I would look at the refuges and the safe houses, all right? Then I would look at the Citizens Advice Bureau, all right? And there's free legal community law centres as well. So hopefully you'll be able to speak to a legal representative to find out what your rights and needs are, to meet your needs. Now, the general practitioners do offer free counselling, and this could be done over the phone or distantly now. There may be a wait in getting in to see a counsellor, so you need to check out what that wait is, but there's there's an amount of free sessions that you can get. And I know the WHO can offer counselling as well. Now, there's a range of special services that are being offered out to actually help those in desperate need. And so firstly, we need to get you safe. And the first thing is you've made your decision to leave, is to leave, okay? So you go to your safe space, and in there you can take a breath, and then you can start ringing around and getting more backup help, counselling, advice, suggestions, protection orders as necessary. All right. Now, if you are someone who's listening to this, who's a refugee, someone who's in a minority group who doesn't speak much English, then where do you go? I would say phone up the refugee hotline and speak to someone who can support you and take that further. There'll be translation services as well that are available. Now, I was told of the abuse intervention programs. So have a look at abuse intervention programs. See if they're running. I know they usually run weekly programs for people who've been through drug and alcohol, anger situations, so that you can learn to empower yourself and to help you to grow stronger, okay? Life is too short and precious to spend it with someone who hurts you. And, you know, if someone assaults you physically, it is not correct, okay? So therefore, you know, you need to actually think, well, what can I do for me to help me move forwards out of this situation? And like someone said to me the other day, a bit of advice, what she followed when she came out of abuse, was it wasn't until she changed herself that people around her started changing. All right. So, you know, surrounding yourself with like-minded people that are going to enhance you and love you and support you is so much more important than having one person in your life that's isolating you and hurting you. Would you not agree? No, but would you not agree? Would you agree? Yes? Cool. Fantastic. Okay. So we've talked about people who love you, who may not be able to stand by and witness any more abuse to you. Now, the fact is they've got to a point where they see you abusing yourself through other people abusing you. Do you see? Codependency situation playing out. They don't want to see that abuse going on that you're allowing, okay, because you're not walking. So is it time to walk? If you really feel it is, then research, make a plan in your peaceful times, okay? You cannot make the abuser happy, all right? Therefore, you cannot make them mad either, all right? The abuser has choices too, all right? So most things that you do and say will be wrong, all right? So you may as well do exactly as you please at all times, because whatever you do, they will find it wrong, all right? So if you feel that you are ready for more happiness in your life and to be the success that you wish to be, it starts with you, okay? You. Are you ready to be the success? Yes? Cool. That's fantastic. All right. So you are human. You are lovable. You are worthy. You do deserve respect. You are powerful and you are able to make this change. Okay. So fantastic. Good on you. So you've actually recognised the abusive behaviour. All right. And you know that through these times, you have been strong enough to step up, step forwards and rebuild your life. Maybe you think, wow, I won't have any money. I won't have a home. I'm going to be leaving all my belongings behind. I'll be leaving all my, what my life has been. I don't know who I am. I won't have an identity. But you know what? You will have your life. You will be able to breathe. You will be able to actually start afresh. Now that may be a frightening situation, but there's plenty of support out there, believe you me, and that new life will be so much more than what you could ever imagine. Would you like your life more than what it's ever been? Yes? Great, fantastic. So how do you know where to get this information from? Well, the website, the phones are going to be so important right now in your home life, because usually people go out to the public loos, there'll be little notices. If you're being abused or these are the situations of abuse, this is who will help you. You might see notices up in phone boxes or community notice boards too. You may actually hear from friends and loved ones, well, here's a number. But as I say, what you can do is to check out and research. I wouldn't suggest writing down just in case that piece of paper gets into the wrong hands. I would keep it all up here. And as you are hanging out the washing or doing something out in the garage, or you get those peaceful moments, then see your plan is what I need, who I need to ring, where to go and how to get there, and what next. So maybe you need to pack a little bag, yeah, and get your toiletries together and at least one change of clothes to help you feel fresh, okay? Maybe you need to put a security code on your phone, yeah? Maybe you need to have a safe word so that if you are being abused or you feel that the triggers are starting and you need to rock and roll out of there, you can text or you can ring someone with your safety word and they know immediately to drop everything and come and get you right this minute. All right, so I would start pre-planning now so that you can actually make the best job of leaving. Don't worry about the trinkets. Don't worry about those little bits and pieces, okay? Just think about what you need right now to keep yourself comfortable. But, you know, in these safe houses, in these refugees, there's going to be clean clothes. There's going to be spare this and that. Charities have donated. You are going to be well looked after and loved and cared for, all right? And take the opportunity to plan something with a loved one so that when you arrive, there is no sign that you are in that house. Don't be seen outside walking, yeah? Don't leave any stone unturned so that you can keep you and your family safe, please. All right, maybe several places that you could springboard to. Place one, then place two, all right, so that you move from one and to the next. You just keep moving, maybe for a couple of weeks, all right. The children, you know, if they're with you and they're safe and they're surrounded by kindness and love, they're going to be fine, okay? They really are going to be fine. And keep in contact with your allocated police officer so that they can keep a closer eye on you too, all right? So I feel that I've got to the end of my suggestions here, and I hope it's been helpful to you. And, you know, my background, as I say, has been a nurse and a midwife, and I've worked with people who've been very disempowered in their time. We've had to call in the multidisciplinary team to come and, you know, escort mothers off that have just had babies when they've been discharged so that the ex doesn't get them when they go outside the hospital. You know, we've had children removed from abusive situations where parents have been abusing them. We've had situations in casualty where we've had security on the door to keep one partner out whilst we deal with the other partner. You know, it's can be very volatile, very difficult situations. And of course you've got the hospitals, casualty, where if you have been beaten or severely abused or you need medical treatment, then you must get to the casualty department. All right, and if you need a quick exit, well then call an ambulance or a police car and they'll take you there. But you know what? Once you're in that system, in that haven, then, you know, the authorities can start the wheels in motion with your blessing. And don't be afraid of the repercussions towards your ex, let's call them the ex, because, you know, they are the ones that are lashing out and abusing, all right? And all you're doing is you're protecting yourself, your life, and children if they're with you. And children, you know, they're the most important in all of this. They've witnessed probably horrors, and there's going to be a lot of beliefs and programs that are running in their little minds that they will need help to unwind out of so that they can grow up to be better versions of themselves right now. So you need to really be thinking about that concern towards them and creating that future for them in the highest and best way. So I work with theta healing. I'm a theta healing instructor, and we work with downloads, affirmations, positive thoughts. And a part of the process is that we give you the opportunity to download into your computer mind new positive affirmations and thoughts, so that you can help reprogram yourself. So are you ready for this now? So all you need to do is say yes after each sentence, and it is done. And you can replay this so that you can hear them again and again and again. You can write them down on a piece of paper. You can chant themselves to you. But the more we tell ourselves something positive, the more we're able to let go of the negative. All right. So whatever you believe in, whether it be God, Creator, Buddha, Shiva, Krishna, or higher divine force, whatever it is, that higher level of awareness, please use that term when I say the word creator. Okay. And if you'd like to receive these, please do. I offer to them from my heart. And you know how to contact me through this website. If I've been of help to you, please let me have some comments. If there's anything I can do further, then you've got my email there. Let me know. Okay. So would you like to receive these downloads through Creator, Creator of all that is? It's commanded that you understand and know what it is to be strong, what it is to be safe and courageous, to know what it is to make a decision and stick to it, that you know what it is to be surrounded with unconditional love, joy, fun, and that you know what it is to be safe and secure and feel nurtured, to feel on this earth in your body, and to know that you are worthy and you are deserving, and that you are able to move forwards in your life, to know what freedom is, to know that you are deserving of being all that you can be, and that you know what it is to be balanced, harmonious, peaceful, and free from worry. And would you like to know all of these things across cells, times, planes, dimensions, interdimensions, languages, countries, back to origin? That you know how and when, and that you can and can allow it, show it, know it, be it, choose, remember how to, and it's possible on a day-to-day basis. You know what it feels like. Would you like to know all of this through your love, Creator's love? Show us now. Thank you. It's done. It's done. It's done. So all you need to do is go, yes, please. So just be for a moment. Creator, show me, thank you. It's done, it's done, it's done. I'm seeing all this beautiful energy coming through and flooding through and sending it out to you right now. So thank you for joining me, and thank you to this beautiful forum, gaining through dignity and divinity. And Kyong, thank you for organising it. And I wish you all the best with your future, and I wish you all the best with your decision. And know that you are deserving of freedom in your mind, body and soul. And there's one technique that I love to teach, which is from my book called Cosmic Radiance Discovery. Put your hands on your stomach and say, I give in. So you're giving into the ego, you're giving into the fear. I give in. Now you say, I give up to love. Touch your heart. I give up. And now fling your arms in the air and say, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. You're handing it over. Hand over the solutions. Believe that there are possibilities out there that are going to meet your needs and more. To know that you are abundant and that you are an amazing manifester of light, and you are so deserving of being all that you can be now. Would you like those downloads? So Creator of all that is, it's commanded that these downloads be given to you right now, and to know that you are a success and you are a survivor, and that you can live your life, there we go, without any sufferance, hurt, pain, resentments, rejections, regrets, any fears, doubts, disbeliefs. or guilt, and know that you are supported. You are supported. You are supported. Thank you. It's done. It's done. It's done. I see doors opening, and just visualize that whole process of moving forwards with those doors open. And as you walk through the door closes, and you enter your new paradigm in a cloak of invisibility and know that you will attract all the people that you require in your life to be all that you can be now. High five. Thank you.